wanted to just change everything? Packing up and leaving everything you know for the other side of the planet? Well, in January 2023, we left Texas for Tokyo. In this video, you'll find out why. And no, we don't speak Japanese. Deciding to leave the USA wasn't so easy. So many thoughts went through my head about the freedoms that I enjoy every day and what it took to get there. Right before I left, I started to think about what it means to be an American and how the American dream has come so true for so many people, and how maybe I take some of that for granted because I'm so used to it. After all, I don't know anything else, right? The city I'm from, Houston, Texas, actually has a lot of wealth, and oh my gosh, do I miss the food. That's our state flower, the bluebonnet, and there's a snapshot of the beautiful hill country. Houston is one of the most ethnically diverse populations in the United States and the fourth largest. I have lived there my entire life. I have no idea what it's like to not know my way around. Furthermore, I have no idea what it's like to live in another country. What are my rights as a foreigner? What happens in the case of an emergency? How do they handle it? I ask myself, what's it going to be like being a foreigner in another country where you don't speak the language? I mean, who moves to another country without speaking the language?
I have no response to that.
So many other countries have an infrastructure that's based on transportation, where they have a system, train system or subway system or whatever it is, and people are able to kind of live without cars. USA, not so much. When we moved here, we were able to get rid of our cars and the insurance and the upkeep and maintenance, the repairs. I don't know if you've heard of shrinkflation, but that's another thing. There's inflation, there's shrinkflation. Yeah, that's a thing. Shrinkflation is an actual word and a strategy used by companies right now, where they are like putting less product into the product and charging the same price. It's called shrinkflation. Pretty interesting and not so interesting. This here is a bag of chips that was freshly opened. Where I'm from, they call that a
rip-off.
I didn't feel like my values were being appreciated by the system I was living in, so why not take a break from that system? Why not go see another culture and learn from how they live? And I can't change the system, but I can change where I decide to be and what environment I decide to put myself in. And hopefully things will get better with the inflation and the crime, and everyone will settle down and not be so divided. But for now would be a great time to just change everything. If I were going to take an adventure, this would be the time. Regardless of how hard it was going to be, I knew that I wanted to take the opportunity to do this. And it was going to be harder to stay in a place where I didn't want to be anymore. So if you're enjoying this channel and this video, please give me a like. I would appreciate you subscribing to the channel if you would like to follow me and my adventures here in Japan. So we packed up our house, got it ready to sell. And this was around Christmas time, so we went light looking one last time in the States to enjoy Christmas. And after much planning, headed to the airport to start our life and adventure in a new place, and maybe learn a thing or two about the culture and how to live differently. little comparison, right? When you think about population of Tokyo, just Tokyo, you have about, for 2021, it was 13.9 million in that small city. Now, Texas, Houston, just Houston was in 2021 2.2 million. Okay, so I've gone from a place that has 2.2 million people to a place that has 13.9. So more than 6 times the number of people. And yes, it is safe here. Like more safe than I've ever been anywhere in Houston. And on top of that, quiet, very quiet. I realized very quickly when I came here that I was a loudmouth. I mean, I've always kind of been a loudmouth. My voice has always been kind of, loud. And I'm trying to work on that. But even more so here. I did not suspect that it would be that way in the city of Tokyo. I did have a preconception that, oh, Tokyo, it's an international city, lots of foreigners live there, lots of people go through there. I'm sure there will be a bunch of English speakers and it'll be fine. Look, they have all these signs in English. They have lots of people who go over there who just teach English in the schools. There must be English almost everywhere there. Somebody speaks English, right? Wrong. I will say that English is here. It's entered the island. I would not say that English is taught in the schools at a young age, but most Japanese people forget. I will say there are a lot of menus that you can point to when you're ordering and communicating and things like that. I was surprised to see the lack of foreigners, even in a station area where you might see a lot of them. You really don't see foreigners very often. We did choose an area that did not have a lot of foreigners on purpose to get the feel of what it's like to be a local here. It's so safe. I see young people walking around all the time by themselves. I see kids as young as 3 or 4 on the elevator going ahead of their parents. But on the trains, I really don't see anyone younger than around 10 by themselves. Japan is about 1/3 the size of Texas, so there's nowhere to go but up. And yes, it's a sea of skyscrapers. There's very little green areas, but when you do find them, they're quite gorgeous, beautiful, and a wonderful place to go relax and unwind from the busyness of being so close to everybody all the time. There's a mindfulness here of, because you're so close to everybody, there's a lot of respect for one another. I believe that they've always been very polite culture and a group mind. There's a lot of bowing. It's really very sweet to experience that kind of respect. Just finding my way around has been a big deal. So I live in Tokyo, which has its own wards, and I'm in Toshima, which is right there. And most expats live in Minato, which is about a 30-minute ride from me. I live in Ikebukuro, which has the 3rd largest train station in the world. So when you go to the station, there's definitely a different pace. There's a stress of how to move inside that tunnel. You can definitely lose a person who was right in front of you just a second ago, or bump into someone if you look down at your phone for just a second. The train station basically divides Ikebukuro into east and west parts. I live on the east side, which has a lot of shopping and restaurants. To me, it's a bit busier, more metropolitan, cleaner, classier than the west side. Seibu is a major department store in Tokyo, and Ikebukuro is the home of their flagship store. So that's what you're seeing here on the east side. You can go into this department store. It's about 12 floors high. Tobu, another huge store, is on the west side. Both stores have an overabundance of goods with floors dedicated to each department. Ikebukuro kanji, the kanji for Ikebukuro, literally means pond bag. Apparently the area used to have a lot of lakes, and so that's why they named it Ikebukuro. Ikebukuro is closely related to another word in Japanese, fukuro, which means owl. So the city has an owl theme, which I thought was pretty cute. There's owls everywhere, owl statues. Since I've moved to a place where I know not one soul, I'd love to create a community of online friends. So if you liked my video or you'd like to connect with me, please leave some messages in the comments below. Also, I'd like to hear your thoughts about what you would like for me to research for you while I'm here in Tokyo. Sending you big Texas love from Tokyo. Take care of each other out there. Peace out.